Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance. And this resistance video is a sponsored video. Sponsored by Carmen for Simon. And before I even start this, I knew this day was going to come eventually, that I was going to get something like this. And first off, Simon's 13. And I always feel very odd not talking to children, but I want to make sure that I'm not just taking advantage. Not that I'm taking advantage of talking to somebody else's children about this. I don't know. Sometimes I think it could be deemed as sleazy or underhanded. And I saw Simon's. I was wondering what to do when I saw his comments in one of the today's videos, and Carmen just sent a contribution, and I'm like, well, I guess I was going to respond to this in some way, with or without. It wasn't about the contribution. It was about his age and what I'm about to read, and you'll understand exactly why, here when I read it. So, and I don't see a lot of comments, but I saw that one. And when I just got the contribution and I saw it's for Simon, I knew I have to do it. So not that it's okay to do it. So here's Simon's story. Ollie, I really appreciate your videos. My mom is a narcissist, and me being 13 years old, I don't think there's much I can do. All I want to do is live with my dad. My mom constantly trash talks about him. And my younger brother, age 10, is the golden child. He's a complete jerk to my dad. Stepmom, 2 stepsisters, half-brother, and me. I'm feeling really lost. I talked to my school counselor. He suggested some mental help. Oh, God. Mental help. For you? For you? No. No, you're not the one who needs help, Simon. It's your mother who needs help. They won't call him out. They won't call out these women. And you got a kid here who wants to talk to his dad and wants to live with his dad. And his younger brother, the golden, has been poisoned. Been poisoned by the mother against the father. Out of what? Out of bitterness, probably. Anger. I need it. You may need somebody to talk to, but it isn't because you want to live with your father. It's because of the abuse you're suffering at the hands of your mother because of parental alienation. You're only a year younger than my own daughter. And that's the other thing that it makes me feel a bit odd. Because my daughter, who's 14, is like your brother. It's not even that my daughter believes believes I'm bad, or she goes along with it because for gifts and for money and for whatever other reason. I'm sure your younger brother doesn't believe it either. But I'm sure he benefits from it, whether it be through money or supply from your mother. And a lot of golden children just get off on the power. Is that to suggest he doesn't care if your father left or not? I don't know. I don't know where he's only 10. But, I remember 10 years old, and I remember right from wrong, and I remembered I knew how to manipulate and all that stuff. You got a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old being put in this. And your mother trash talks your dad because that's what she's going to do. She's bitter and she's angry. And that's what comes first in your mother's life is her own wants and needs. Under the guise that she's protecting you from your brother and your dad and stepmom and your stepsisters and your half brother. My mom has shoved me, hit me, threw stuff at me multiple times. She makes me cry multiple times a week. And when I don't cry, it gets worse. I know. I know what that's like. My mother did the same thing. You don't want... God, he's 13. You know, I got to a point when I was your age, I decided she was never good. They were never going to see me cry again. And it got worse. I didn't realize she was a narcissist until I researched the disorder about 1.5 years ago. Like, his poor kid is researching narcissism at 13. I remember how she used to hit my dad before he was strong and divorced her. How can I leave? How can I stand up to her even though she's my mom and I'm still a kid? Please let me know any advice or anything I'm doing wrong. Thank you, Simon. You're not doing anything wrong. It's not your fault. None of this is your fault. You know, I would ask, you know, what's going on with your dad? You want to live with him? Does he want you to live there? Does he want you to live with him? I mean, he didn't say he didn't, so I'm assuming he does. I'm sure. Look, and this sucks. This really does suck because you're 13. I understand that frustration you're feeling right now. You can't control this woman who is violent, and she just throws guilt around and she blames your dad for everything. For everything. And she takes no responsibility for any of her own behaviors. And here we go. The school counselor tells him to get mental help. You need to be very honest with your school counselor and be specific, Simon, of exactly what's going on. Okay? That she has been trying to alienate you and your brother from your father for a very long time. She rants, she raves, she makes up stories about him. She gets violent. She used to get violent with him as well. You have to keep repeating that story over and over again to anybody who asks and anybody who will listen. Say, yeah, I might need to talk to somebody. Okay, but that's not the point. The point is this woman is out of control. This woman has been trying to poison me and my brother for years. Oh, God. I'm glad you found my channel, Simon. I did. I mean, at least it gives me hope for the future that like, this is what I've been and this is what I've been telling everybody. You know, this is not only for you, this is for everybody watching. This younger generation, the real young ones, not the Tide Pod eaters, but this next generation, they're like 10 to 15 years old now. They're more in tune than they're rejecting all this other shit. They're researching this stuff and they're trying to get their hands around it. You have to be an example for your brother, and your brother may never change. You might be already too late for him, Simon. But as a father who can't talk to his daughter, whose daughter basically has been trained to hate me. Okay, and I've basically given up all hope. Okay? The most important thing for you right now, and actually for your dad, is for you not to give up on your dad. As long as your dad knows how you feel, okay, there's going to be hope for your brother, because he won't give up on you and he won't give up on your brother. He might get to a point where it's just, You might have to turn to your dad and say you can't help him. I don't know. This is what parental alienation does to the child. This is what goes on, and these and they just get away with it. The counselors protect the mothers. They protect the abuser. And look, he needs to get help. And probably thinking to put him on medication. You don't need medication, Simon. You may need somebody to talk to, but you don't need this. You don't need medication. You're only 13. I don't know if they're gonna if family court would allow you to make that decision. Depends what state you're in. By 14, 15, 16, maybe you're getting to a point where you can make a decision where you want to live. Now, if your dad wants you there, and if you can do it with your stepsisters and your stepbrother, and you know, I would make it clear, but you have to, if you have a way of recording your mother's rants and raves, I would do it. Get her on video. Get her on video. To her cursing and her hitting and her trying to alienate you from your father. You're going to have to do it, Simon. Because without, with just your testimony, they could say you're lying, your father's manipulated you, yada, yada, on and on. Okay? If you don't have a way to record her, you need to find a way. Okay? But at 13, I would imagine, if you're on a computer, I'm sure you have a webcam. If you have a cell phone, you got to record her when she does this stuff. You got to. And then make sure you get it to your dad so he could do the right thing for you and your brother. You need proof. I wish I had proof when I was a kid. I didn't have proof till I recorded my mother on a telephone call at 36 years old. And you don't want to get to that point. Or 38 years old. You don't want to get to that point, Simon. I mean, you're a kid. 13. Parental alienation. So, in the description box is also my email address if you want to continue to contact me. I'm not comfortable Skyping with a 13. I just can't. I'm not a trained counselor. I'm not any of that. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a trained counselor. I just don't feel like it would be right for me to Skype with a 13-year-old, even though, I mean, it would be on the up and up and all. But we can keep this all public and keep this, you know, on the channel, because I don't want any. It's just this day and age, Not that I think you would do anything, but I'm more concerned about your mother turning around and say she's talking to a 45-year-old man who's trying. No. You need your dad, okay? You need your dad, and I want to be very, very, very clear. I'll help. I want to help you. I want to help you get through this, but I'm not taking the place of your dad or anything like, or anything like. That's not my intention. I don't want you to get you to leave your mom and like, no. My goal is for you and your dad to have a relationship, and hopefully your brother as well. So my email address is in the description box. Feel free to email me, if you want to keep it, if you want to add on to the story as well, because I was going to reply to this anyway because it struck me. It did. And I'm sorry you're going through this. Really am. And I understand how you feel, and I understand what you're going through. I also understand what your father goes through to a certain extent. I mean, at least you're fighting. You're fighting to see him. And that's the most important thing. So the best advice I could give you here is start recording your mother when she starts doing these things, hitting you, shit-talking your father, screaming and yelling and all her antics. And then get it right to your father. And hopefully he'll be able to do something with it. So, I really hope that helps, Simon. I do. Thank you, Simon, for being brave enough to even put the comment in the comment section publicly. Thank you to Carmen for making it even easier and supporting the resistance as well, with your contribution. And this is when you contribute for somebody, this is what you could potentially have the ability to do, is help somebody who really, 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 really needs it. So thank you to Carmen. And I hope to hear from you, Simon. I do. And I wish you the best of luck. So thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, or a Facebook live chat, or you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general because you believe in it, you want to see it succeed and grow, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you guys. Without you, all of this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email link in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been the Narcissistic Resistance. Take care.